Let's just take a few deep breaths and bring our attention now to this evening and to our circle, to one another, letting go of the day, at least for the next few minutes while we're together. And take a few deep breaths, and as you release each breath, release more of the outer world and come more into your inner world, to your inner planes, connecting to that space where you connect with the divine. And allow that energy to flow through you, through every part of your being, that divine vibration, that connection with the divine. See it as whatever color of light it presents itself as to you. Feel its vibration moving through your system, through your body, until the whole body, your whole entire being, every cell vibrates and shines with that light, with that divine light, until it continues to grow and grow beyond you. And notice that it begins to connect with that divine presence and light and vibration coming from the person, I'm going to say next to you, but other beings in this circle. Standing across the circle until we see the entire circle that we are enveloped in this incredible divine energy and light. And we become as one within it, flowing with the divine, and flowing throughout the circle, and continuing outward and beyond, connecting from our hearts to the hearts of mankind, flowing across our country and our world, until the entire planet is engulfed in this incredible divine vibration and energy. And feel the unconditional love and recognize that vibration within it, the healing energy of unconditional love as we move throughout the planet and throughout our circle. And so, in this spirit and in this vibration, we meet and we consider this evening the quality of gratitude. What it means. Consider for a moment what it means to you. What is gratitude? Consider when you're feeling gratitude, what that feels like to you. Consider the role gratitude plays in our lives. Consider its power. Consider what it does for us. Consider how it supports the manifestation process, how it supports the healing process, how it supports so many of the processes that are so vital to us, not only spiritually, but physically, mentally, emotionally. Whatever that vibration is to you, that gratitude is, feel that now. Feel that moving out through the vibration that we have set up, moving across our planet, moving throughout mankind. And think back over this day. think about things or events or situations or people that you have felt gratitude for their presence, the lessons you've learned through the events or meeting someone or the presence of someone or a situation in your life. And just sit for just a couple moments with gratitude. And where I would like to take this interaction is to open the group, the circle, to discussion, because we learn and grow and from hearing one another. And I would like to just use the talking stick format, and as you offer your speaking about gratitude, what it means to you, what you may be grateful for this day, just announce your name. Say, I am picking up the stick, the talking stick. When you're complete with your sharing, just say that I am laying down, I am complete, and I am now laying down the talking stick. And I will begin. For this day, I feel incredible gratitude to one of my dogs for her friendship. She's getting ready to transition, and it is sad, but I feel gratitude for her friendship, for her presence in our journey together over the last 10 years. I feel grateful for all of the lessons I've learned from her. And I lay down the talking stick now and offer what's for anyone else.
I just want to say this is Joni Watkins from New York City checking in.
Hi, Joan. Welcome.
Thank you.
This is Sue, and we have we are now in a meditative space where we're considering the vibration of gratitude, what gratitude means to us, what we may be grateful for this day, and we're opening this particular gathering to open discussion using the talking stick format. What's
the last line you said?
We're opening this circle, this gathering, to open discussion. And the way we're doing that is using talking stick format. Mm-hmm. When you feel like you want to share, announce your name and that you're picking up the talking stick, share, and when you're complete, say that you're complete and you're laying down the talking stick. And then that's the next person's signal that they are welcome to share. And I have just completed and opened the floor to anyone else that would like to share.
Hi, this is Yolanda Asher. I guess it's time for me to talk. So I'm picking up the talking stick. Lovely that the theme today is about gratitude, because today I had a really good audition that I had taped for a new TV show, and I was driving back from it feeling filled with gratitude, just feeling really good about the work that I did, and because it had been a while since I had an audition, and I was wondering if another one would show up, and there it was today. And as I was approaching one of the traffic lights, I saw a homeless man on the side of the road, and you see them all the time with the signs of either, work, food, whatever, and I didn't see his sign. I just saw him, and I was in this place of gratitude, and a little voice said, he's hungry, give him something. And I was like, So I stopped, and I was like thinking, what do I have? What do I have? And I found a Larabar in my bag, and it was, one of my favorites with the cherry and the nuts and all. And so I rolled down my window, and I looked back at him. He was about 8 feet away from me, behind me, and I said, sir, excuse me, sir. And it took him a while to realize that somebody was referring to him, and he turned around and came, and I was like, I leaned out the window, and I held the Larabar, and he came up to me, and I said, would you like this? And he said, oh, thank you so much. I was like, well, you're welcome. Enjoy. I wanted to say, it's really good for you, too. It's nutritious, but I didn't. And so I was like watching him through my rearview mirror, because sometimes I've seen people take stuff and just throw it away, but I saw he unwrapped it and he started eating it, and I was like, oh, good, I was right. It was something that he did appreciate, and so that gave me even more gratitude, because I was looking at him and thinking, there but for the grace of God go I. And got home and got a message about another audition that I did, found out that the part that I had wanted I didn't get, but I got another part that was a little smaller, and I was just trusting in the universe that that's what it's going to be. So I didn't get that one. And I wasn't going to let that bad news get me down about the previous things that happened in the day. So I was just like, consciously saying, yes, I'm staying in this place of gratitude. I'm staying in this place of joy. And I was noticing how easy it was for outside circumstances to control or affect, I should say, my emotional state, because I have struggled with depression and have struggled with not wanting to be here and with life being so hard, and at the same time making choices like things are going to work, it's going to be better. It is, no matter what caca is going around me, I'm going to make the best of it. I'm going to learn from it and keep moving on. And then it turned out that I'm in this community of us meditating together and communing with each other. So I thank you for that, and brings me more gratitude. And I'm putting down my walking stick. Not walking stick, talking stick. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, it's Amy. I'll pick up the stick. Well, I'm always in favor of gratitude. I feel like for me it's the universal medicine. And today I was particularly grateful for a swarm of wild bees who came and took up residence in an old building here on the farm. I tried to capture them, which was an act of big bravery for me. Put on the beekeeper's suit, smoked up, and went and tried to catch them and get the queen into a cardboard box and put it in a regular hive box. And I thought I got it, but I didn't. I guess the queen wasn't in that group of bees that I knocked down and put into the box. But, I felt gratitude for that, too. I felt gratitude for my husband who taught me about beekeeping, and gratitude to nature to bring these great animals back to our place. And I've just been in a really deep state of gratitude all day to my teacher. His name is Dwayne, spiritual teacher, and his partner, Sanea, who's been my teacher, too, for quite a long time. And I'm grateful to this farm that I live on and all of the nature here, all of the animals. I went and picked apples this morning. It's a little late, but they're still really good. And when I got to the gate, the guardian dogs, the livestock guardian dogs who watch the sheep graze here, they're big guard dogs. They're really ferocious to most creatures because they're all about protecting the animals, but we've gotten to be good friends because I feed them every day and take care of them, and they were so happy to see me. Like, the boy dog started doing this, like, I love you dance, like wiggling all over. He was just so happy to see me, and I felt so grateful to get that kind of love, just a pure, unadulterated, uncomplicated joy at seeing me. And that was how my day started. I went and picked apples really early, just after the sun went up, and then I found those wild bees swarming and tried to be heroic and catch them. So I was grateful to be able to start my day like that. Let's see, I'm done. I'm putting down the stick.
This is Julie, and I'll pick up the stick. I was drawn to come tonight because of the topic of gratitude, because I have also been feeling a lot of gratitude lately. I'm looking for a job, and I have just been really touched by people that have reached out to me and made connections between me and friends of theirs and acquaintances of theirs, and there's just been so much generosity in that, and I've just been feeling very grateful for that. And then the other thing I was feeling this morning is I took a class with a woman who wrote a book called The Power of Receiving, and it's all about how to, increase our ability to receive. And she recommended keeping a gratitude journal, so I try to do it every morning. And this morning I was reflecting on all the things I was grateful for, and my last gratitude was for her. Her name is Amanda Owen, that she wrote the book, that she taught the class, and that it's the thing that stuck with me. And by writing down my gratitude and my appreciations, it's like it enhances it. It gets better and better. So I was just feeling really grateful for her and for having this practice where I write it all down. And my final gratitude is I'm in New Jersey, and it's gotten very chilly here, and it's very much fall, which is early. And the sky was just so crisp and clear today, and the moon tonight is really beautiful. So I'm feeling grateful for the seasons changing and how nice that feels. And I'm putting down the stick.
This is Joni from New York City, and I'm picking up the stick. Hello? Gratitude is kind of a way of life for me. I say I thank God 1,000,000 times a day for just about everything, every little thing. It's amazing. Every time something is in balance and good, I say thank you. But it's a particularly good day for me to have gratitude, because at 8:30 p.m. On the street, where it's 3rd Avenue, near where I live, I rescued, through a rescuer, a little dog who was sick and was about to be put down, and they had an hour to catch him, to take him out. And I was the only reason they called me, because didn't have a dog and he was contagious. And he's still with me today. I wasn't planning for him. And immediately I bonded with him, and I've had he's the most wonderful being, and so sweet and gentle and smart. It's quite a challenge to have a dog that's smarter than you. And he's right at my feet right now, and we've been celebrating all day. And so I'm grateful for such a wonderful companion. And I'm putting down the stick.
This is Nancy, and I'd like to start by saying I'm grateful that I could walk with my husband and our 2 dogs 2 miles before this gathering started, and half the way home to be able to look at that moon, which is just magnificent tonight, and to still hear all of the night sounds here in Ohio, the crickets and other animals, was just a kind of benediction. And I'm still feeling quite a bit of gratitude from yesterday. Last weekend, my husband Ted and I went to Washington, D.C., where our oldest son, who's a musician in the Navy, was receiving a promotion, and there was a ceremony. So we were in the Navy Yard all day on Friday, walking around and having a picnic and celebrating, and just very high energy. And we left Sunday, got home very late Sunday night, went to work Monday, and learned of the events that were happening in some of the very same places we had just been. And there was a period of not knowing whether Christian would be all right, and getting texts every so often that he was fine. But a long period ensued where he wasn't able to text, and the reports coming from that part of the world were pretty grim. And so I was extremely grateful when we learned around 4:30 that he was alive and was able to go home and pick up his little 1-year-old daughter, who was in daycare at another Navy base, not that far away, about a mile away. And at the same time, we got that great news. We learned that our middle son and his wife had just welcomed their first baby into the world, and coming home from work yesterday, I was able to stop at the hospital and meet little Lewis, and again, just rejoice and feel such deep gratitude for this new soul who's here. And I noticed that holding him for maybe a half an hour as he slept, I was filled with such deep peace beyond anything I could really describe. And it was so powerful that any outer event probably would not have eclipsed it. And so there are many other things I'm grateful for: my gardens, the harvest, the beauty. But I think that's enough to share for now. So I'm going to say thank you to everyone in our circle and put down the talking stick.
Hello, this is Sally in New York City. There's a lot of things I'm grateful for. I think the first thing that came to my mind actually was the fact that I can be so aware of gratitude today and hold it in my life, because there was a period many years ago when I really couldn't fathom it. And it was a very kind of dark period. And so I think the first thing that came into my mind was so good to be grateful, and to really be able to just think of different things, simple and big, that I can really hold in my heart and feel this emotion about. And I'm so grateful that I have all of these wonderful supports in my life of yoga, my favorite form of yoga, opened a studio down the street from me, so I can do yoga classes like 5 times a week, and it's just like awesome. And I'm taking a fabulous webinar on mantras right now, which is really fascinating to me because I feel like I'm getting all of these download attunements through sound in a way I've never experienced before. And so I'm just really grateful for all of these wonderful learning situations and people who are contributing in my life. And I'm grateful that my kids are in really good places and happy and functioning and, doing well. So yeah, I'm grateful for a lot of different things, and I appreciate this topic. Thank you. I'm putting down the talking stick.
This is Sue, and I would like to pick up the stick one more time. And I feel such gratitude as I listen to your sharings and offerings. Grateful that I have this time with all of you this evening, and I'm able to have and share in this circle, to share this, just receiving the energy and just being part of it. And I feel humbled and humility, not in a bad way, but in a good way, when I hear your sharings and your stories. And I want to thank all of you for all of the sharing that you have offered. And that's part of my gratitude for today. Put down the talking stick.
Hi, this is Yolanda again, picking up the stick. Something else I realized that I'm very grateful for is that my bluebirds came back. I feed bluebirds mealyworms, and I also have bluebird boxes for their nesting. And it's always joyful when the babies come and are being taught by the parents how to hunt and fly and everything else. And this is the first time of over 15 years of raising bluebirds that they disappeared for a while, and I was very concerned that maybe they got killed or something. But today, in my day of gratitude, all of a sudden I see they're back again after a 2-week disappearance, and I immediately went into the house and got the mealyworms and fed them and talked to them and said, thank you for being back. So it's just been a joyous day, and being with you all, too, is really nice. So I thank you for that. And I didn't know that this topic was about gratitude until I saw the Gowden Digest email that came in that talked about that. So the invitation was not that specific. So it just all worked out. Okay, I'm putting down the stick again.
Okay, this is Sue again, and is there anyone else that has not shared that would like to share? Okay. Please take a moment now and just reflect on the stories we've heard and how powerful this thing, gratitude, is. The power it has, the energy it has when we bring our mind and focus to gratitude and bring the energy to us and focus on what that means to us and allow it to flow through ourselves and outward to the world. And just consider that for a moment and allow that energy to flood your body, your cells, your spirit, your entire being, and again into the field that we have brought forth this evening to the rest of the world and to the planet. Allow that energy and the power of gratitude to flow forward as part of the love and the unconditional love that we send forth for healing, to bring whatever results people may need or help with whatever they need to fuel it. Just sit with that for just a moment and allow that energy to be in our bodies and in our system. And so it is only about 10 minutes after 5. Is there anyone else that has anything else they would like to share or comment on?
Do we have time to do another gratitude round? That would be fun.
You bet. Well, it's 10 after 5, and I'm willing to be here until whenever. So I think we do. Who would like to be first?
Do other people like that idea?
Are you saying doing another round of gratitude?
Yeah, we can just, there's not that many people, and we still have some time.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Sounds good. Well, this is Sue, and I can pick up the stick one more time. There's so much to be grateful for, and to me, I notice that quite often I get so involved in what I worry about, I forget to be grateful. But when I do, I notice when I take time and step into that energy and I start thinking, well, what am I grateful for today? That it helps me shift. It helps me shift into a more productive place, a happier place, but a place where opens up possibilities. And I just feel incredible gratitude and love for the magic that we live in every day, and for the miracles and gifts that we are given every day through the divine. And again, I'm grateful for this circle tonight. And so I lay the stick down.
Amy, I'll pick up the stick. I do always come back to my gratitude for nature. That's where I feel the divine usually most clearly and strongly. And today I laid down to meditate to a guided meditation that I was listening to. And when the teacher's voice came on and I was lying on the bed, really got a good head of steam going with the energy. We've got chickens now on the farm. We just got them a couple months ago, and they're adolescent chickens. And I guess they were attracted by the energy, and they were making these like really funny noises just outside the window of, like, I don't know how to describe it, extreme contentment. And I was just so grateful to my teacher for these energies and to God for these energies, and so grateful to share this moment with these chickens that they're not supposed to be very smart, be bird-brained, but boy, they sure understand energy. And there was just so much joy and gratitude flooding through me over these little noises that they were making of contentment that I had never heard them make before. They have a lot of different noises that they make, and they're really expressive. I didn't know that before I was raising them. And I ordered some stuff online today, just little stuff. And I was grateful that I didn't have to check to see if I have enough money, that I could just order it. I was grateful to my husband, who is holding down a job. Sounds like a small thing, but I remembered to be grateful for that when I ordered this little order of stuff. And I am ready to put the stick down. Thank you.
This is Sally again. I'll pick up the stick. And, what I particularly like about this topic is it gives me the opportunity to examine my mindset, because often when I look at my situation, I can focus in on aspects of negativity or insecurity or, areas where things can feel like a failure for me. And, when I'm kind of challenged to say, well, what in this really relates to gratitude, it completely shifts my perspective. And as I say, I'm grateful that I can really embrace that today, that, I'm looking at my situation and I'm grateful that I have the financial resources I do. And I'm looking at the fact that my income is coming to a grinding halt. And then I sit there and I say, but isn't this wonderful? The universe is telling me it's time to move and leave New York. And I've just done this astrocartography, And I'm grateful that I have these fabulous friends who can make these referrals. And it's like cluing me into the fact that New York is a really, really bad place for me to live. It just doesn't work for me energetically on a lot of levels. And it explains a lot of things that have been going on in my life for the last couple decades. So it's like, gee, isn't this nice? I don't have to, have ambivalence about leaving because it's clear that that path is opening up for me. And yet there's this huge resistance about it because it's like, oh, now that you've just set up your home because your parents died, you've moved in all this furniture, right, you're going to find another place to live. And so I can fall into this just overwhelm. And then I sit back and I say, but isn't this fabulous? I'm like young enough that I can actually relocate, that I can actually start over and have a new life and a new beginning. And so it's like I feel like I'm on this kind of seesaw of, yes, I feel grateful about this, and I've got this difficulty that I've got to deal with. And so it's kind of an interesting ride of waves, so to say. So it's great that we have this topic because, as I say, it definitely encourages me to put more attention on all of the positive things that are there because I am receiving so much. It's like, this astrocartographer, he's a astrologer, is telling me, all about the Midwest. I'm like, no, I left the Midwest. I hated the new Midwest. And he's like, like from Minneapolis to Chicago, I'm like, really? Minneapolis? Can you get me any place that's colder than Minneapolis? And then I sat back and I say, gee, I've got a college roommate whose husband's from there. So I call her up and she's connected me to this great broker. And it's like there's all these little doors that open. And I don't know if I'll ever move there, but, what a blessing that there are people who are giving me the opportunity to explore it. And maybe it will be right, and maybe it won't. But, it is something, and something I do feel grateful about, that I'm a choice here, that I do have the opportunity to make this kind of choice about my life instead of just, being sent somewhere or having to be somewhere because of some kind of obligation or financial survival or whatever. So, as I say, there's so many different things I'm grateful about, of little gifts that come into my life on a daily basis. And to follow the little doggy theme, I have to acknowledge my wonderful dog, Chance, has been with me for 11 years, and he's been in the room snuggling. So I will close with that and put down the talking stick.
This is Joni in New York City also. And I'm going to take the stick, talking stick. And I'm going through a thing about possibly moving too, not leaving New York, but to another apartment that's like twice mine. And it's a possibility. But what I want to talk about is that it's been so difficult because for, I would say, probably the first time in my life, I have come across people that I wouldn't say are evil, but I would say have evil behavior. And it's focused towards me. And I've been talking to God a lot. And I felt a little like Job. I said, why? There must be some reason for this, that I've created this. I've gone through a place where I was just really feeling like a victim and helpless because my own apartment, where I've been living for 43 years, was at risk. And it felt like I didn't have a lot of choice. But mostly it was, I never have experienced, I feel like an innocent. And that's not usually my feeling. You can hear the sirens, I think. You could tell them in New York City. Well, wait. I never came across people like this, nor have any of my friends. It's, it reminds me of how you hear about the corporate world where they're sneaky and they steal from each other and they steal inventions, and there isn't a sense of win-win, but win-lose, or they don't care as long as they get what they want. And that's what I'm going through. And I was walking down the street, and as I said, I say thank you very often. And one of the things that I've noticed about myself is how much I really love being on the planet, whether it's at the beach or walking in a slum, or I just love the experience of being in life in this form. And it really doesn't make a difference whether it's exciting or if it's simple. I just love smelling and touching and looking in my eyes, and so often I thank God for my eyes, and so I'm walking up the street, and I said, well, the situation I'm in, can I be grateful for it? And I thought about it, and I felt a gratitude that I'm alive to experience it, that I'm alive, and even though it was dark, I'm here. Dark reflects the light, and I'm here. I'm alive. I'm experiencing something that's interrupted my life, and, more recently I'm really seeing the purpose and the lessons. But before I saw the purpose and the lessons, I knew they were there somewhere. But I was able to actually feel gratitude just to be alive and even experience that, which is really a revelation. But then another thing I'm grateful for is, as I said earlier, what was I saying? Oh, God. Yeah, I'm a little older than you. I just went through a senior moment. Okay, the lesson. There was a lesson. And I saw the lesson. And as I said, it was so painful. And my friends were so supportive because I was almost stammering and stuttering because I felt so out of my realm and my domain. And then somewhere more recently, I felt my strength. And I thought, well, wait a second. I don't have to be afraid or be a victim to these people who are, well, really amazing. I have had to get a lawyer, and I said to my lawyer, I guess you're used to this, being in this business. And my lawyer said, no, I've never seen anything. This is the worst that I've come across. And, well, so here I am feeling like this kitten in a jungle, not cared for, that, like maybe there's a fire or something and I'm not safe. And I turned it around and I said, wow. And I thought of all the times that I was overwhelmed and a circumstance or a powerful person who was negative overwhelmed me, but not as negative as this. Never have I experienced this, but who have overwhelmed me and I collapsed. And I didn't take my own stand, and suddenly I stopped collapsing. And I'm not collapsed now. And that's, especially these were men. And I've had some history from a childhood of scariness around men, being a little child. And somehow certain types of men who are aggressive will shut me down. I will get frightened. And suddenly here are these types, the worst. And I started shutting down, and I'm saying, why am I so scared, and why am I so upset? And I came through the eye of the needle, I guess, and I don't feel I can't handle it, and I don't feel they could take advantage of me, because they can't. And it's just a wonderful feeling to emerge as a capable, strong woman and give up the cowering and the fear. So I'm grateful for that. And still grateful for my little dog. And I'm also grateful for the last person who shared, who also is a fellow New Yorker, because I don't know, something about the share, I understood, feeling New York is a little addictive. Although I don't find it difficult to live here, I've often felt that I could not live without being in New York. And just listening to you say that just kind of gave me a kind of freedom. It was really great to hear you say that. So thank you. I'm grateful for you, too. And I'm going to put down the talking stick.
This is Sue, and I just want to comment. It is now, I suppose on the East Coast, it is now 9:30 at night. It's 5:30 here in Alaska. Just a time check.
Wow. Wow. It's Joni again.
Sue, are you still on the line, or did you drop off?
Can we do a roll call of who's here now?
Yeah, this is Sue again. Somehow the call dropped, so I'm back with you.
Amy, I'm still here.
Joni's still here.
Yolanda is still here.
Sally's still here.
Okay.
So I am going to wish us past tonight. But Sue, just keep going with the call, and when everybody hangs up, the recording will stop.
Okay.
Okay. So much love to you all, and good night.
Thank you, Amy.
Bye-bye.
How do the rest of you feel? Are there others that would like to continue sharing?
This is Joni. The only thing I want to continue sharing, which is my closing, is I hadn't realized that Tzaddi is everybody here is with Tzaddi?
Yeah.
It was so...
I am.
I am so dispersed around the country. In a way, Alaska, around the world. I somehow got the idea they were all in California now. And I was alone here in New York, and I find it really thrilling to have this conference call with my compatriots, knowing that you're everywhere. So thank you.
You're welcome.
It's been a wonderful experience for me.
I'm not sure if this is Sue again, and I don't know how you feel. I'm starting to feel like our session is coming to completeness. Do any of the rest of you feel that way, or?
I do. Joni does. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I feel that way too.
Anyone?
I concur.
Okay. I think there's one other person. Do you concur also, or?
I concur. It's Yolanda.
Okay, Yolanda. Before we close, I was curious. Did you guys like this format tonight?
Yes.
Of sharing and okay, good. The gratitude. As far as I'm concerned, it's one of those things that it's important to understand, I think, or realize how powerful we each are and that we each have so many of our own answers within us. And it seems more important to just allow this space of, and I'm not sure how many of the other gatherings are conducted, but it seemed like it was more important to make this space. I learned a lot. I was reminded about how the power within each of us and how that sense of gratitude, how it can help each of us, and we each have it. It looks different maybe, but the vibration may feel somewhat different. But anyway, just thank all of you. I've enjoyed your sharings and appreciate them so much. And so since we all feel complete, what I would like to do now is let's just take a moment to say in gratitude, to give thanks, and go within one more time, send one final blessing into this circle that goes out into the world and across the planet for healing and for unconditional love to others. Send this energy forward to help others. And then as you come back to your space and in gratitude release from this space giving thanks to all of our guides and teachers and the divine for all that the divine and our guides and teachers do for us every day, for all the miracles that we have every day. And again, appreciate all of you so much. And as you come back into your bodies, you have been in an altered state to somewhat of a degree. So just take a few moments to ground and center before you drive or attempt to go out. Thank you all again. And so we will close this session now, this gathering, again in great gratitude and thankfulness. Thank all of you. So be it.
Thank you so much. So be it.
Oh,
Thank you.
thank you.
Bye, everybody.